True story. Crina of Hoop Talks and the program just told us off air that she could beat Bianca Andreescu.
Yeah, she did actually.
You heard it, right?
We have it. It's off
exactly
the
what
record.
you just
We
said.
put it on the record. Bianca Andreescu, if you are listening to this and watching this, Crina here claims to be your biggest fan, but she just turned her back on you and said that she could sweep you in a tennis match.
Yeah, pretty much that's what you said, right?
Six love straight sets.
No, you didn't say that?
I'm flabbergasted.
She said clay, grass, hard court. She got it.
I said that I could probably hit a tweener because I know she can't because she posted a video that she can't. That's all I said. But I also have longer legs than she does.
A tweener, by the way, is a ball hit through your legs.
Yeah,
it's not like,
that's true.
a 12-year-old.
Yes.
You can smack in the head, right? that would be wrong. I have a 12-year-old at home, and she wouldn't like that at all.
Oh, it's so good to be back on this show.
Isn't it? Hey, you're smiling. You should be smiling. WNBA season has tipped off. And let's just say that the viewership numbers so far have been extremely promising.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it grow every single year. This year, we saw it go with an average of 589,000 viewers, which is up almost 200% from last year, which is absolutely great because it shows you that, like, if you're going to put it on TV, if you're going to put it on national TV, people are going to watch it. They love to see basketball. And to me, what sticks out, too, that Phoenix Mercury LA Sparks game was Brittany Griner's return to the court. It was an 11 p.m. start, which was a bit late, but it still peaked at, like, 1 million viewers, which to me was amazing. Like, I really love to see that.
And also another thing, viewership numbers on cable TV, awesome. But I want to talk about the social media thing because I think social media is how you get the young people integrated into the sport, right? You look at the House of Highlights or ESPN or Bleacher Report or whatever, right? When they're promoting the WNBA like that, people, it's going to show this whole weekend. I was getting all the WNBA news, all the highlights on my phone this weekend. That right there, is that the key to getting the younger audience involved in the sport and involved in the game, is just by promoting it on social media as they've been doing so well?
Absolutely, because it gives another level of accessibility towards, like, introducing fans, because we live in the world of the second screen. So, like, even when people are watching, they're on their phones scrolling, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're trying to see what's happening. So, like, if you see highlights of these players that are doing all these great things, you're going to be like, oh, who's that? Like, I'm kind of interested. I want to see, like, where she's playing. And now, we're about to have, like, a break from the NBA with it being staggered out for, like, finals and all that. And this is a great time to, like, pounce on that and pounce on people wanting to watch basketball.
Do you think people watch Brittany Griner because of the player that she is, or for the story behind Brittany Griner, though, in fairness?
I think it's both, because honestly, like, if you're thinking about who she is as a player, she's probably one of the best players in the W. She can dunk the ball. Now she's shooting threes, which was never really in her bag before, but like, she was so confident in her first game back. I thought it was amazing. I think the key for the WNBA is telling the stories along with the type of players that you have, because you still have a lot of talent, but really, if you think about any league, you get attached to players and their stories, and that is what attracts you. People want to know who they are, where they're coming from, and then that's going to attract you to watch their team and follow them, because even if you're not necessarily a fan of the team itself, you become a fan of the player and you follow them wherever they go.
That's where I think hockey gets it wrong.
Yeah.
And why the NBA has been so good about, really promoting these personalities and these stories behind the players, because they are individual compelling storylines, right? And people do want to see that stuff.
Exactly. And you're seeing that in the NFL as well, where they're now promoting the players a lot more as just the shield, and that's the shield's the most important, but now it's the players, because they bring, as you mentioned, all the the young kids in, the advertising dollars in. Let's go back to the on-court stuff though. From this first weekend of WNBA action, what player or what team really stood out for you in a positive light?
I mean, we are in the small sample size part of the season, but
small.
It's the best part to make wild and wacky predictions. So you went into the season thinking the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty were the two super teams. That's who everybody was talking about, that they put together these, like, really giant teams. To me, I think the Las Vegas Aces are clearly the ones that have stood out among the rest. They've only played one game so far, but they absolutely demolished the Seattle Storm. They had 6 players in double-digit figures. They were led by Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, who aren't even technically, like, the top 2 players on the team. So I think that, to me, shows how good they're going to be. But I think even below them, I have the Connecticut Sun, honestly, next, because they started out 3-0. They're looking really good. They have the core of Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Jones, and Duana Bonner, who's kind of been that Connecticut trio. And they've shown that their experience together with the pieces around them now, that they're going to be a very dangerous team. So I have them, and then Mystics Liberty.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Brianna Stewart, who went for 45 points.
I was
former
going
Seattle
to.
Storm member.
I saw a quote.
I saw a quote from her on the weekend talking about her daughter. I guess she's an newfound mother, and she talked about how it kind of put things into perspective for her.
Mhm.
Do you find that now she's, of course, in a new city, a new team, a new chapter in her family, that now she's kind of can focus, and basketball gets been put in a better perspective for her, and that we can actually see her game take off from to another level, because she's already been great in the game.
She's one of the best basketball players in the world. Her daughter Ruby, and they're actually expecting a second
Yeah.
child soon. And I think her daughter Ruby, that quote that you were talking about,
Mhm.
where she was like, "I woke up to my daughter screaming. She didn't care that I had a game on today." I love those. It goes back to like the stories about the players too, right? Like you're learning more about her. Like, yeah, she put up 45 points in 30 minutes, which is to me is
Very efficient.
very efficient, very crazy. I think like with a bigger market like New York as well, more eyes are going to be on her. I think she's been put in a position where, yes, we can get her the ball, but we also have pieces around her that's going to make this team successful. So I'm excited. I know she also debuted her red ruby shoes like after her daughter. I absolutely love all of that. There's so many different elements of WNBA and culture that get put together with these players.
The Aces and Liberty both favorites at this point to win the whole thing. Give me a dark horse.
The Connecticut Sun.
It's them, is
I
it?
would say the Connecticut Sun. After this weekend, I think the Mystics, I think both teams honestly still have stuff to figure out. But if you're looking at a tier away or like even on kind of the same level, I'd say the Connecticut Sun or the
They're
Washington.
at plus
Mystics.
2,000 in North Star bets right now, and the Mystics plus 1,000. So
That's
there's some
good
value,
value. There's good. That's
There's
good,
good value there for sure. Moving to the NBA right now. Celtics staved off elimination yesterday. Jason Tatum 33 points. Now Charles Barkley predicts they'll smash him again next time out, and Charles is
no.
never wrong, is he?
The Charles
Whatever Charles
Barkley,
says, you do the
guarantee.
opposite.
Listen, I think the Celtics have not shown a very good series so far. I think we've had some questions about them throughout the entire playoffs, if I'm being honest. Like, even remember when they were playing against the Hawks?
I
and we
think
had...
since the All-Star game, really, the All-Star break, we've seen the dissension, not dissension, but just it's not the Boston Celtics
not the
that
way
we
they
saw
started.
last year that we expected to pick up where they left off last year, going to the NBA Finals.
And so I think this previous game was more, well, Jason Tatum having a good game, because he needs to score more than 30 points for this team to win, and it's just a fact at this point. That's what we need from him. But I think the Miami Heat, they just had their chance, they just didn't take it. I don't think the Celtics are going to be able to crawl back into this series, but it was just a matter of like the Celtics finally started to play a little bit better. They got more contributions from everybody, and they were able to get the win. But I don't know.
Are the Heat the Panthers of the NBA playoffs?
I think so, maybe, because the
Snuck
Heat
in there
the Heat
and-
were like the number 1 seed last year in the regular season.
Yeah.
They were in the conference finals last year. Of course, lost Game 7 to the same Boston Celtics team. But I think, Crina, you know as well with basketball, this is the culture the Miami Heat have. The Heat culture built by Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Alonzo Mourning, Dwayne Wade, now Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. The way that organization is run, I think it's not even A-plus class. It's in a separate league of its own, the way they run that organization. And we're seeing Kyle Lowry, a guy who's gone through so much since he came to Miami, right? He's been out of the lineup, been injured, his weight was brought into question, but now he's playing valuable minutes in the playoffs and playing well for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about how important it is to have veterans on a team, and I think you're seeing that with Kyle Lowry, you're seeing that with Kevin Love as well.
Yeah.
It's really important to have these guys who have been there, because you're going to have talents like Jimmy Butler, but you need different voices on the team.
Absolutely.
And I think we've seen that for sure. And I love to see it, because I want to see Kyle Lowry thrive. So.
Hey, look, as much as I love the story of the Nuggets, I think Nikola Jokic really has grown on me over these playoffs, just becoming, I said it today on Hoop Talks, he's not the most aesthetically pleasing athlete in the NBA. Like, he's just not graceful like Jordan or Kobe, or forceful like Giannis and LeBron. It's kind of ugly basketball, but it's damn well efficient. He's one of the smartest players in the NBA. But I want to see Miami win. I want to see Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat win a title, because just of what they were able to do this year. They lost their first play-in game, and they went all the way, took down the number 1 seed, took down the Knicks, and now they're going to take down the Celtics.
It's been like compelling so far in these playoffs, haven't they?
It's a very nice Cinderella story.
Anyone
I
can
love
be
it.
anyone, it seems,
Exactly.
as well, and there's still plenty of time to go. Karina, thanks so much for this. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed this.
Love it.
Bianca, also call her out on social media.
I actually completely forgot about that. Oh, great.
The stage is yours.
What, you want me to call her out on social media?
Challenge her to a match.
No.
Right
no.
now.
No.
Smacks and tweeners.
Bianca, I love you. Day best. It's all good.
Thanks, Karina. When we come back, it is to hockey and baseball. Don't be going anywhere.